Good morning, everyone. Today, again, we will continue with the same chapter from trade to territory. So, in last class, we discussed about the Battle of Plassey. We saw that in this battle, finally, Siraj ud-Dawla was defeated, and Mir Zafar, his commander in chief, was crowned as the new Nawab of Bengal. So, in the beginning, Britishers were very happy when they placed Mir Zafar to the throne because they thought that finally they have succeeded in appointing a puppet Nawab and they will enjoy all the privileges. But their demands were so high that even Mir Jafar could not fulfill it. Now, once Mir Jafar was appointed as Nawab, being a ruler, what he will expect? He will expect to earn respect from the common masses, and common people generally give respect to strong ruler children, not to a puppet ruler. Okay, a strong ruler is given a respect as compared to the weak one, isn't it? So when greed of East India Company increased, their demands increased, Mir Jafar protested against the British. As a result, immediately, first, the moment he protested, Britishers removed Mir Zafar from the throne of Bengal and appointed his son in law only, Mir Kazim, to the throne. Mir Kazim was the son in law of Mir Zafar. Okay, but again, Britishers were not satisfied by Mir Kazim also because he did not come up to their expectation. Once East India Company also got information that Mir Kazim gave trading rights to Indian merchants. Britishers became very angry. They did not like it because they wanted that whole trading rights should be given only to the Britishers, not neither to Indians nor to any other foreign countries. So again, due to this conflict, second battle took place between Britisher and Indian, that was, or we can say between Britisher and Mir Kazim and two of his friends also, the ruler who supported him, and that was the Battle of Buxar. In this battle, Mir Kazim was defeated. Once he was defeated, there was no person to be placed for the throne. So again, Britishers put his father-in-law, Mir Zafar, to the throne, back to the throne. Okay, so Britishers were not bothered children that who they are going to give the throne. Whoever comes to the throne, only their motto, their demands should be fulfilled. And this time, after the Battle of Buxar, Britisher put their new demand. Okay, a new rule we should say, not demand, rule. That Nawab of Bengal will pay 5 lakh rupees every month. 5 lakh rupees every month to British East India Company. Now 5 lakh rupees. Children, in those days it was a very, very big amount. Very big amount. But their greed had no end. Britishers still wanted more. So after the death of Mir Zafar, Robert Clive, remember his name? The one who bribed Mir Jafar. He played a very important role in Battle of Plassey, isn't it? So Robert Clive gave the idea that instead of placing puppet Nawab, now Britishers should become Nawab. You can see this line, we must indeed become Nawabs ourselves. Okay, so here came the change of thought, isn't it? Till now they were thinking about trade, till now they were thinking how to increase trade, how to earn maximum, but now they were thinking how to be a ruler, how to rule the nation. So this was a change in thought. Now, Britishers with this thought, they got the Diwani right. Diwani right is right to collect taxes. So with the help of this tax, what will Britishers earn? What could they earn? If they could meet all their expenses, like maintaining their army, maintaining their offices, construction of their forts and all. Okay, all these. Even if they want to buy some raw materials, basically they came to our country to trade. So raw materials like cotton, silk, this material now they could buy with the Indian money only. Earlier they were using British money. Okay, but now they were collecting taxes from India and using same money to buy these things also. So see how nicely they were playing. Now we come to another topic. Company officials became nabobs. Now what is nabobs? Children, nabobs is the anglicized version of nawab. Okay, anglicized version of nawab. As we know, the pronunciation or accent of Britisher was different from Indians. So instead of saying nawabs, they said nabobs. Now, it was noticed in Britain also that any person, even if from a poor background or middle class or low background, once appointed in East India Company, after returning back to England, he had huge wealth. So, from where he was getting all these wealth? From our country, India, isn't it? But, and what happened to Indian Nawabs who were really wealthy and rich earlier? They were losing their throne, they were losing their power, they were losing their territory, and East Indian Company officials or officers were getting rich day by day. After returning back, they were so rich that they led a very comfortable life. They were flashing their lifestyle, money, each and everything. Posh lifestyle they were living. It means that even company officials were corrupt. They were indulged in scams, ghotalas. Okay, that it means that they were not giving the proper record of their earning. Is it clear? They were earning a huge amount of money, but in the records and all in the paperwork, they were maintaining less amount. So that's why Robert Clive, remember this person again came. Okay, Robert Clive also, when he returned back from India after 24 years, he was so rich that British Parliament had to set up an inquiry commission on him to find out knowledge about his wealth, acquisitions, properties and all. Because of this inquiry, he was scared and he committed suicide. So, children, even if not all, but many officials, many British officers came to our country, became very rich, and lived life like nabobs. Now we come to the last topic for today. Company rule expands. So we have seen after the Battle of Buxar, East India Company started expanding its ruling area. Okay, so for expanding its ruling area, it was not so that the Britishers directly started attacking any country, attacking any territories. No, their ruling area, they very nicely they plotted each and everything. Okay, they planned some strategies, some policies, so that Indian states or Indian territories will come in their account, come in their pocket. One such policy was subsidiary alliance, which was found by Lord Wellesley. Now, alliance means bond. So, this bond was between whom? Indian rulers and Britishers. So, let's see what were the terms of this bond, what were the terms of this negotiation. According to this policy, Indian rulers had to pay British army within its territory. It means that Indian rulers will bear the cost of their salaries, their uniform, their weapons, their food, each and everything. Now think, in today's world, will we maintain the army of our neighboring nation? No, not at all. It will be a biggest threat, isn't it? But here rulers had to follow it. According to this alliance, Indian rulers were following it. One British officer was appointed as resident in Indian state. This resident, basically children, acted as a spy for Britishers. He interfered in day-to-day politics of the ruler. Ruler could not take any decision independently because there was a resident who used to interfere every time. Indian rulers, third point of this alliance, Indian rulers were not free to enter into alliance with any other ruler without the permission of Britishers. Means, suppose once I have signed subsidiary alliance, if I want to develop friendly relation with any other neighboring kingdom, then first I have to take permission from Britishers. Okay, Britishers think that okay, this person they won't, that I and that person won't plot anything against the Britishers. They find it safe. Then only they used to give permission. So basically, Indian rulers lost their independence. Okay, see the disadvantages. Indian rulers lost their independence. They had to face financial burden as they were maintaining British army. So Indian rulers, for the name only, they were rulers' children. They were basically at the mercy of, on the mercy of Britishers. And with the help of this policy subsidiary alliance, Britishers captured area like territories like Awadh, Hyderabad and all. So finally, one policy and their expansion started. They continued, they ruled, and we will study about few more policies through with the help of which they continued their ruling areas, they expanded their ruling areas in next class. This much for today.